In this podcast episode, Eric Trump shared his unfiltered perspective on finance, cryptocurrency, politics, the U.S. economy, and personal insights shaped by his unique experiences. Throughout the podcast, Eric delved into the disruptive potential of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, his family's battle with the financial system, and his critique of the current political and financial landscape. Eric begins by questioning why traditional finance remains constrained by outdated systems. He highlights that the banking industry is still predominantly operating within a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday paradigm, which means transfers are slow, costly, and heavily intermediated by banks with multiple fees and regulatory hurdles. He contrasts this with the promise of cryptocurrency, which enables 24/7, near instantaneous, low-cost global transactions. Through his involvement in crypto projects such as Trump Coin, NFTs, World Liberty Financial, and American Bitcoin, Eric firmly believes cryptocurrency is transforming the entire financial landscape at a pace surpassing the internet's growth in the 1990s. Eric argues that Bitcoin, unlike traditional assets such as gold or fiat currency, has a fixed supply capped at 21 million, creating scarcity that supports its value appreciation. This makes it a superior store of value and a form of digital gold, immune to inflationary policies or government seizure. He explains that even countries with hyperinflation, such as Zimbabwe, have seen Bitcoin become a lifeline due to its global accessibility and liquidity. Eric also advocates for governments, including the United States, to embrace Bitcoin on their balance sheets, noting that many countries and Fortune 500 companies are already adopting it as a strategic asset. He laments that, although the U.S. has some Bitcoin holdings through forfeitures, it falls short of fully integrating crypto into its treasury or monetary policy. On the question of portfolio allocation, Eric suggests that average investors consider holding anywhere from 5 to 10% of their portfolios in Bitcoin, with younger or more risk-tolerant investors able to allocate more. He warns against trying to time the volatile market and instead recommends a buy-and-hold approach, adding positions on dips. His emphasis is on long-term investment discipline rather than speculation on meme coins or attempts to manipulate the market. Eric recounts his and his family's personal experiences with the financial establishment relentlessly working against them due to their political affiliation and beliefs. They were debanked, a term that refers to banks shutting down their accounts without explanation, sometimes overnight. This happened to multiple Trump-related companies at the height of their political prominence, cutting off access to essential banking services and threatening operational survival. Eric points to major institutions such as Capital One, Bank of America, J.P. Morgan Chase, and others that not only closed accounts, but also indirectly enforced political bias, labeling his family and associates as undesirable clients. He lays the blame squarely on collusion between government regulators and financial institutions who weaponize banking infrastructure to punish dissenters or political opponents. This censorship extends beyond banking, including social media deplatforming and IRS investigations. Despite spending hundreds of millions in legal fees fighting these actions, Eric believes these attacks serve as a stark warning about the fragility of freedom when vested interests control financial and communication channels. He sees cryptocurrency as a crucial tool to bypass such systemic censorship, empowering individuals and businesses with decentralized financial control that traditional institutions cannot touch. Eric offers a sobering view of the national debt, currently over $37 trillion, asserting that it is an enormous burden that ultimately translates to higher taxes and diminished prosperity for average Americans. He acknowledges that while reducing wasteful government spending is necessary, the real solution lies in economic growth. For that to happen, he stresses the need for America to regain leadership in energy production and technological innovation, especially in sectors like nuclear power and artificial intelligence. Eric criticizes the stagnation in areas like nuclear infrastructure development and energy policy that has caused the U.S. to lose advantages it once held. Linking energy independence and growth, he praises the resurgence of American energy exports amid the previous year's decline, while warning against policies he sees as punishing businesses through excessive taxation or regulatory overreach. He contrasts the economic vitality of states like Florida with the struggles plaguing New York City and California due to high taxes, corruption, and poor governance. According to Eric, these states face mass exoduses of wealthy taxpayers seeking friendlier climates, which will continue increasing cost pressures in receiving states. Eric offers critical commentary on the American education system, describing it as broken and misaligned with practical life skills, particularly financial literacy. He argues that schools waste time teaching irrelevant subjects like Latin while neglecting essential knowledge such as budgeting, credit scores, investing, and basic trades. He emphasizes that understanding personal finance is one of the most crucial life skills and laments that many young people graduate without comprehending how compound interest works or how to navigate the financial market. This knowledge gap, he contends, contributes extensively to societal poverty and economic immobility. Reflecting on his transition from business to politics, Eric expresses profound disappointment with the incompetence and lack of real-world experience among many career politicians. He sees the predominance of binary yes-no voting without deeper understanding as a root cause of misguided policies like unsustainable minimum wage increases leading to automation and job losses. He contrasts this with his father's focus, discipline, and success in both business and politics. Eric shares personal accounts of political attacks, including multiple subpoenas, indictments, and even alleged assassination attempts on his father, all of which he attributes to a weaponized government aligned with political opponents. He maintains that despite these struggles, their close-knit family unity and financial resources allowed them to resist these systemic assaults. He advocates for a return to governance by competent business-minded leaders capable of fostering growth and stability rather than ideology-driven bureaucrats. Beyond finance and politics, Eric touches on the importance of passion, discipline, focus, and work ethic. He credits his upbringing with instilling values of hard work and self-reliance, recounting how he worked from a young age on construction sites to earn his possessions rather than receiving handouts. This mentality shaped his approach to investment and business, where he favors concentrated bets in areas of expertise rather than broad diversification. He believes that great investors succeed by seeing the future and dedicating themselves myopically to their passions. As for happiness, Eric emphatically rejects money as the sole measure of satisfaction, instead pointing to family, purpose, and meaningful work as core to a fulfilling life. His dedication to building successful companies, supporting his family, and fighting for what he sees as America's future fuels his personal joy and motivation.